YouTube, what's going on? We're here with an Etheria restart video. Now, in this video, I want to just go ahead and quickly go over the banner system in this game. Now, I know a lot of you guys play Genshin and Honkai and all that stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and try to compare it to that to try to make it a little bit simpler for you. Now, the first thing I want to start with is understand that this summoning system is not like Genshin Impact. It's not like Genshin, it's not like Honkai. It's a lot more similar to Epic 7, I would say. So if you guys played Epic 7, then just imagine it's basically the Epic 7 system, except with 20 less summons for the guaranteed. Now, for those of you who haven't really played Epic 7, let me go ahead and explain the way this works. And also, this is actually even better than the Epic 7 system besides that. So for those of you who have never played Epic 7, I'm going to try to keep it more towards the Honkai and the Genshin stuff. So in Genshin Impact, for example, when we're summoning on a banner and it says limited right here, that means we have to pull them on their limited banner. And if we don't pull them on that limited banner, well, then tough. We have to wait like 3 months to get this unit. So those of you who are coming from those games, you might be thinking, okay, Freya's our limited unit for the game. Let's go ahead and summon Freya. Otherwise, we're going to miss out on her, right? Well, in Etheria Restart, it's actually not like that. You can actually summon her on the permanent summon. And as of right now, every limited quote-unquote unit, because this one isn't even really limited if it's going into the permanent summon, right? So it's more of like a limited banner. This banner goes away after 8 minutes, but this unit, the unit itself is not a limited unit. It actually goes immediately into the permanent summon, as you see right here. Freya is immediately put into the permanent summons. Now, I believe the next unit that comes out will also be placed into the permanent summon when it comes out as well. So do keep in mind that if you don't really want Freya right now, you do have a random chance of pulling her in the permanent summon. Now, another huge thing that I want to go over is the pity system. The pity system right here says Anima Freya guaranteed within 100 summons. That sounds pretty good, right? We go over to the permanent summons right here, and it doesn't say anything. However, if we go ahead and go to the rules right here, the pity is actually guaranteed within 80 summons for the permanent banner. So what does that mean exactly? That means if you want specifically the limited banner unit, then go ahead and summon on this. It's a 100% chance to get this unit, and you will not have any RNG whatsoever, and then you will get this unit. However, if you're willing to get some other units and have a small, and when I say small, I mean really small, because look at all these other units you could pull, chance to get Freya, then go ahead and summon on this. You will, in theory, get about 5 more units summoning on this than you'll be summoning on this, right? Since you'll be saving 20 summons every time you summon 100 on here, you'll most likely be summoning 80 on the permanent banner, assuming you go to full pity every single time. So early game, I actually kind of recommend going for the permanent summon as long as you're okay with skipping out on Freya. And if we go ahead real quick and look at the tier lists on the Pyridon website right here, they do recommend her as like a tier 0.5, and she's very high on PvE and very high on PvP. So she is definitely a good unit. So don't understand that I'm saying to skip this unit. If you want this unit and you think this unit is very amazing, then go ahead and pull them. Don't feel bad about it. However, I do want you guys to be knowing everything that you're possibly missing out on by doing this. So that's how that banner works. And do keep in mind one final thing is I believe the pity does not carry over. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I was reading along in the rules over here. There's nothing in here that says the pity carries over. So those of you who play Genshin Impact, do keep in mind that I know, like, for example, the Venti banner that comes out, you summon on Venti, you go up to like 70 pity or building pity to the next banner unit, and then you stop. That might not work on this game. You might need to save and make sure you have the full 100 summons until we have more information. Again, this game's pretty brand new. I don't see anywhere where it says you're guaranteed the carry over, so do keep in mind with that. Now, the other huge thing that I do want to point out is this game has light and dark units, which is something that Genshin doesn't really have. All their units are pretty much the same. Light and dark units in this game are normally like premium PvP units, generally speaking. So that means they're going to be more expensive than usual. Let's go ahead and show you that. So this right here would be like an RGB unit. If we go onto their banner, it costs about 1,000 crystals for a 10 summon. Now, this is a light and dark banner right here, and if we do a 10 summon, it costs 3,000 crystals. So it's 3 times more expensive to pull a light and dark unit. So they're just way more difficult to get and way more harder to get. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, then I'm never going to get any light and dark units, right? So why would I ever bother with this? Well, if we go ahead and check the permanent summon, and this is again the reason why I'm slightly recommending the permanent summon over this limited banner right here, is because if we scroll down ever so slightly, we can see we have a 0.25% chance of pulling a light or dark unit. And if we go ahead back to that limited banner over here, there is 0% chance of getting a light and dark unit. So, in my opinion, if you're willing to play a little bit of gambling, which I know we all are since we're playing gotchas, why not go for a chance at getting one of these units? You have a small chance of getting Freya on here, and we're still early game. We're missing out on a lot of top tier units. If you pull something like this character's insane. If you pull Tiamat's insane. If you pull Rosa's insane. There's a ton of units that right here, since we're brand new into the game, that you are going to be needing anyway. So in my opinion, I would summon on the permanent banner. Again, if you really want Freya or you're whaling, then go ahead and go for this. But do keep in mind, if you want to have a decent chance of getting light and dark units, the premium banners is one way to do it. Or you could just save up your summons for this banner. But again, as you saw, 3,000 crystals for a 10 summon is going to take you quite a lot of time to pull a light and dark unit. And the probability of doing it is the 1%. So it is possible that you pull it early. But do keep in mind, again, until we know a little bit more information about the carryover system, it might not be worth summoning on this banner until you have like 300,000 crystals to burn, right? So that's pretty much all I wanted to go over on those banners. So let's go ahead and talk about the targeted summon right here. Now, I know a lot of you guys see right here that you can pick whichever unit that you want. Which unit would I recommend personally for summoning on here? I would actually recommend summoning either Tiamat or Rosa. I think those are probably going to be my 2 first picks. Again, because if we go ahead and go back to the tier list over here and check the main thing with these kind of games is you're going to want to farm. And the main thing you're going to farm is Doki Doki right here. So Doki Doki, you're going to be wanting to use Zyda right here. So actually not Rosa, sorry. We want to use Zyda. That's a tier 0 farmer right here. That's a pretty good one. Or we can see down here, Rosa's tier 0 at a lot of things. So that's actually why I was saying Rosa instead. But if we go ahead and look at Tiamat, Tiamat is going to be a tier 0 sustain on like every single thing in the whole entire game. So I probably would recommend Tiamat as like a just pick this, and then you're probably good. Never need to worry about having another tank in the game. So there's tons of different choices on here that you could go for. I would recommend either Tiamat or the Rosa. Those are my 2 choices for me personally. But again, pick whoever you want. This is a gacha game. Eventually, you're most likely going to get the characters if you play long term. And that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys understand the way these banners works. This banner right here, I'll just go over real fast. It's going to be how to use it, these gold things right here. You're going to be summoning on here and have a 1% chance. I really don't understand why you summon on this. I guess if you want to just throw a summon in here to try to get someone random, you summon in here and you don't care about this banner unit. But this one doesn't have a pity. Does it have a pity? This one says, if you do not obtain an SSR after 50 consecutive summons, the drop rate of the SSR, you're guaranteed within 80 summons. Okay, so as you see right here, actually we do have a way to get the light and dark units through this banner right here at a little bit better of a chance, but it's a random one right here. So I think if you're going to be looking for a light and dark unit and you don't necessarily care for the banner one, it's the same style as the permanent one. This is going to be a cheaper way to get a light and dark unit, but it's going to be random. So it's a very interesting way that the banners work in this game. So just to recap one last time, if you want a chance at these light and darks, go ahead and summon on the premium banner. Don't feel bad about it. And if you don't care about the light and darks, you think you're going to eventually summon them through this, so who cares? Then summon through the limited banner right here. And if you only want Freya and you don't really want anyone else, then obviously just summon on the 100 summons guaranteed. Do keep in mind again that it is an 80 pity on these bottom banners, but 100 pity on the top ones. So with all of that, do remember one last thing, that the pity might not carry over. Please let me know in the comments if that's wrong. And that's all. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.